It might sound morbid, but when I die, my wife's going to get everything. Because A, I'm married, and because B, I've made a will. Or at least I thought that was the case until I met my next guest. Rosemary Johns is a solicitor with Irwin Mitchell. Welcome to Channel M today.
Thank you.
Good that I've made a will, but if I hadn't made a will and I went, Caroline wouldn't get everything just because I'm married, would she?
Not necessarily, no. If you don't have a will, basically the state writes one for you.
That will never do.
They're called the intestacy rules, based on some very old law that really needs updating. Anything that you own jointly, like your house, for example, that would pass automatically to your wife if you own it jointly. But anything else, she'd receive up to £250,000 plus personal belongings. Anything over and above that, she'd get the value of half of it in trust for her lifetime. The other half would go to your children at 18.
OK, so it's not like, you know, the chancellor's going to take the lot, but the moral of the tale is make a will. Exactly. Whether you're married or whether you're not married, make a will.
Exactly.
Not only for money, because, I mean, if people are living as partners and not married, there's the custody of the children issue as well, isn't
That's it, yeah. I mean, by your will, you can appoint guardians of your minor children, so obviously it would take effect on the second death, but you could appoint your parents if they're still alive, or brothers and sisters, or whoever you see fit, really.
For example, I mean, again, I'm married, but if Caroline and I weren't married, and Caroline tragically died, I wouldn't get custody of the children just because I'm their father, would I? Unless Caroline had made it clear in her will, is that right?
No, if you're their father and you're married, then yes, you would. But obviously, if you both passed away, then you'd want to make provision in the will for guardianship.
But what if I wasn't married and I was their natural father?
Again, you'd probably still be granted parental responsibility, but if there's any doubt at all, then it needs to go in a will.
So this is the whole thing, isn't it? The common law wife thing is the other thing I hear.
It doesn't exist in law.
You know, if you live with somebody for long enough, then you get the rights of a married partner and all that.
No, that's absolutely not the case at all. You know, I mean, there's 1 in 6 couples now, I believe, who actually aren't married. And it's so unfair, but sadly it is the case. If you're living with somebody for however long and there's no will in place, then you'll probably find that everything will go to your partner's family. You could be left, you know, having to move out and find somewhere else to live pretty sharpish. So
we've cleared up all those grey areas and we're coming to the conclusion, make a will.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even if you've not got anything to leave, at least, or if you've only got a little bit of money, at least you can appoint people to manage your estate, and your wishes are there in black and white, rather than relatives just being left to think, you know, well, what do I do?
So what does it cost, Rosemary? I mean, people see, you know, do-it-yourself will kits on, you know, on the shelves in stationeries and places like that.
I've dealt with homemade
wills. Well, you would
wills.
say that, you're a solicitor.
I've seen homemade wills. There are amendments made that are invalid, they've not been witnessed. I mean, there's all sorts of little technicalities where the will can be declared invalid, and then you've got to sort of deal with these intestacy rules, which might not be the deceased wishes in the first place.
So how much does it cost to make a will?
Very, very basic will for a single person starts at £100 plus VAT. It'll range, you know, depending on the type of firm you're dealing with and the expertise, but it's like with anything, you get what you pay for, basically. So see a specialist, don't leave it to chance, and don't do it yourself. And
do you have to leave it in the care of the solicitor who's made it for you?
Not necessarily. Solicitors usually offer a free-of-charge storage service and would keep it in a fireproof
because you want to be sure it's going to be found, don't you, when you pass away?
Yeah, I mean, we offer the client the choice. We don't force them to leave it with us, but obviously they're very welcome to do so.
So it's not going to cost an awful lot of money. It's going to remove a lot of confusion, make sure that your wishes are known and are acted upon.
That's right.
The other thing that you see, especially in films and in commercials, is kind of the comedy things that people leave in their wills. You can have, you know, all my worldly goods, you know, if you show your backside in Albert Square or something like that. Do people really write things like that in their wills?
I've had a few odd things, like people wanting their pets put down if they die. I think that's really sad.
What? If I'm no longer... so perhaps they could join them in the afterlife.
Well,
maybe
exactly,
that's the wish.
Yeah, you know, I want little Sooty or whatever to be taken to the local vets and put down. I think that's really sad.
Oh, I'm stunned by that one. I was looking for comedy ones, not ones that make us slightly weep quietly. What about the silly ones? Any really... I mean, you don't have to be specific. Do you get the peculiar ones?
To be honest, I haven't had any really bizarre ones. I've had lots of complex ones involving trusts and things, but nothing really bizarre, unfortunately.
OK, well, then, maybe somebody watching now will be in a position to approach
you
as a solicitor and put a peculiar request in their will. Rosemary, thank you for making that very clear. Nice to have met you.